The Buddha said to Ananda, "Rise to your feet, rearrange your robes, put your palms together, and respectfully revere and worship Amitāyus." Buddha Tathagatas in the lands of the 10 directions always praise with one accord that Buddha's virtue of non-attachment and unimpeded activity. Ananda stood up, rearranged his robes, assumed the correct posture, faced westward, and, demonstrating his sincere reverence, joined his palms together, prostrated himself on the ground, and worshipped Amitāyus. Then he said to Sakyamuni Buddha, "World-honored one, I wish to see that Buddha, his land of peace and bliss, and its hosts of bodhisattvas and shravakas." As soon as he had said this, Amitāyus emitted a great light, which illuminated all the Buddha lands. The encircling adamantine mountains, Mount Sumeru, together with large and small mountains and everything else, shone with the same golden color. That light was like the flood at the end of the period of cosmic change that fills the whole world, when myriads of things are submerged, and as far as the eye can see, there is nothing but vast expanse of water. Even so was the flood of light emanating from Amitāyus. All the lights of shravakas and bodhisattvas were outshone and surpassed, and only the Buddha's light remained shining, bright, and glorious. At that time, Ananda saw the splendor and majesty of Amitāyus, resembling Mount Sumeru, which rises above the whole world. There was no place that was not illuminated by the light emanating from his body of glory. The 4 groups of followers of the Buddha in the assembly saw all this at the same time. Likewise, those of the Pure Land saw everything in this world. The Buddha said to Maitreya, "If there are people who hear the name of that Buddha, rejoice so greatly as to dance, and think of him even once, then you should know that they have gained great benefit by receiving unsurpassed virtue. For this reason, Maitreya, even if a great fire were to fill the universe of 1,000 million worlds, you should pass through it to hear this sutra, to arouse joyful faith, to uphold and chant it, and to practice in accordance with its teachings. This is because there are many bodhisattvas who wish to hear this teaching, but are still unable to do so. If there are sentient beings who have heard it, they will attain the stage of non-retrogression for realizing the highest enlightenment. This is why you should single-heartedly accept, in faith, uphold, and chant this sutra, and practice in accordance with its teachings." The Buddha further said, "I have expounded this teaching for the sake of sentient beings, and enabled you to see Amitāyus and all his land. Strive to do what you should. After I have passed into nirvana, do not allow doubt to arise. In the future, the Buddhist scriptures and teachings will perish, but out of pity and compassion, I will especially preserve this sutra and maintain it in the world for 100 years more. Those beings who encounter it will attain deliverance in accordance with their aspirations." The Buddha said to Maitreya, "It is difficult to encounter and behold a Tathagata when he is in this world. Difficult to access, difficult to hear are the Buddha's teachings and scriptures. It is also difficult to hear the excellent teachings for bodhisattvas, the paramitas. Difficult, too, is it to meet a good teacher, to hear the Dharma, and perform the practices. But most difficult of all difficulties is to hear this sutra, have faith in it with joy, and hold fast to it. Nothing is more difficult than this. Thus have I formed my Dharma. Thus have I expounded my Dharma. Thus have I taught my Dharma. You must receive it and practice it by the method prescribed." When the world-honored one had finished his presentation of this sutra, aspiration for highest enlightenment was awakened in innumerable sentient beings. 12,000 Nayutas of human beings attained the pure Dharma eye. 22 kotis of devas and humans attained the stage of non-returner. 800,000 bhikshus realized the wisdom of destroying defilements. 40 kotis of bodhisattvas attained the stage of non-retrogression, and all, adorned with the virtue of the universal vows, will ultimately attain perfect enlightenment. At that time, the entire universe of 1,000 million worlds quaked in 6 ways, and a great light illuminated all the lands in the 10 directions. 100,000 kinds of music played spontaneously, and innumerable marvelous flowers fell in profusion from the sky. When the Buddha finished delivering this sutra, Bodhisattva Maitreya and bodhisattvas from the lands in the 10 directions, together with the elder Ananda, other great Shravakas, and all those in the assembly, without exception, rejoiced at the Buddha's discourse.